Cool. So we're just going to jam through these first assignments. And so I'm going to start my SQL shell, and I'm going to kind of just go through the assignments, and then then you guys could have a chance to do it. Write a select statement that pulls all faux the data from a single field in a table. Use the keywords select and from. So I'm going to log into my server, and I'm just hitting all the things. And for our class, it's going to be BE 129. And right now, just watch, because I'm going to go fast. So y'all just watch. And then once I'm done, you'll have a chance to go through it. If I forgot what the commands are, I have the database commands right here, so I could open that up. And that could be something that I come back to. And there's that link to that tutorial. I want nothing more for all of y'all than to be good fighters. Like a boxing coach, I want you to be strong and tough and to be able to go out there and give it some fight in the ring of life. So I'm going to give you what most teachers don't give you. How many people get this talk from other teachers? Anybody else got tough love from other teachers? No other teachers giving you tough love? Failure of the education system. What are the 4 principles of success? Harvard Business School. Talked about it.
Sell a lot of stuff.
Sell lots of stuff. What's number 2? Revenue greater than expenses. What's number 3? Hire good people. What's number 4? Reduce expenses. All right, so here's this. We need a select and a from, which means I need to see my databases. I remember it's like \L, and there are my databases. I have a sample database. How do I drop that sample so I could start all over? What's the command? Yeah, drop. Drop database sample. Bam. And then I could \L and look at it again. Now it's gone. How do I create a database? Create database sample. Cool. How do I change into a database? Yeah. You're now connected. How do I know I'm connected? My command prompt changed from Postgres to sample. So originally I was connected to this database, so the command prompt is going to show you what database you're connected to, and now I'm connected to this one. Okay? And now I need to create a table. How do I create a table? Yeah, I'm just guessing. Create table. And then a name. So what's this name going to be? I don't know, customers. And then what do I do after that? So parentheses, I think, are going to be there. Right? It's going to be like that. And I'm going to have the field name, and then the type, and then, I don't know, what were they called? We did this. Yeah, but we had field name and then type, data type, and constraints. So field name, data type, and constraints, right, is the pattern. So field name, data type, constraints. Everybody say it with me. Field name, data type, constraints. Field name, data type, constraints. Field name, data type, constraints. Now let's go around the room. Everybody say it.
Field name, data types, constraints.
Say it.
Data types and constraints.
Say it.
Field names, data types, and restraints.
Constraints. Say it.
Field names, data types.
Cool. Say it, Edwin.
Field names, databases.
Data type.
Data types.
Constraints. Say it again.
Field names, data types, constraints.
All right, so I'm gonna, like a boxing coach, I'm gonna make you go out and punch and get hit. right? You got to step in the ring. And for some people, that could be overwhelmingly intense. If it's too much for you, just come talk to me and you'll be off my call on you list. Because I don't want you to, like, you know, just because it's like, that's too hard. I don't want you to, like, be like, okay, screw this class. My ultimate goal is to see you all succeed. So if you hit someplace that's too hard for you, just stop. So I'm going to do like customer ID would be fine. Data type int, constraints, primary key, not null. And then customer first, and the data type, what do you want for the data type? Text and not null. And do I need a trailing comma? No. Some programming languages you want a trailing comma, some you don't. We can experiment. This is the spirit of being an adventurer, the spirit of exploration. What happens if I do have a trailing comma? In programming, that's called a trailing comma. Will a trailing comma create an error? Because I kind of like having a trailing comma because of the other languages I code in. Because of the other language I code in, Go. What happens if I do a trailing comma? Is it going to tweak? I don't know. Let's find out. Spirit of exploration and adventure. Right? Let me see if it works. No. So hit my up arrow key, come back in, get rid of that, and now it created it. How do I check if I have a table? Backslash what? D, details. Right? There it is. How do I see the details of that table? I've got a list of relations. And remember, relations are kind of like, why is it calling it a list of relations and not a list of tables?
It's a relational database.
It's a relational database, but why is it using the word relations instead of tables? How are tables relations? Because we are putting things into piles, related data into piles. We're putting related data together. The data that's together is data that's all related. So this gets back to set theory and mathematics and Cobb. I called him Dobb the first week, whatever, who cares? Facts. Right? The guy who created Cobb, Dobb, it's Cobb, corn on the cob, created databases. You get a PhD. Okay, something like that. Close enough. We can look it up. Don't need to know it. But it was based upon set theory, and set theory is grouping things into related piles. And so relations, right? Here's a group of related data. It's in here. It's in that pile. So they're calling it relations, list of relations. Because that's pure database theory. And sometimes they'll be called relations, sometimes tables, sometimes kinds. NoSQL, sometimes you see kinds. They might have a different name for it. It's a group of related stuff, group of related data. How do we see the details of that table? Details and then the name. And so it tells us we have, in this table, now they've switched to table, public customers. We have this column, customer ID, and first, and integer, and text, and not null, not null. Integer is just a number. If you forget any of this stuff, look it up. Make sure you're precise. This is computer science. It's engineering. Engineering is precise. The engineers at BMW don't say, we need bolts to hold on the wheel. Go get some bolts. They say, we need a bolt with a tensile strength of this and with this thread count or thread density, and it has to be tightened to this force. Very precise. The ultimate driving machine. Other car manufacturing companies, maybe they'll say we need a bolt. Not as good of cars. Engineering is precise. So if you don't know something, be precise. Look it up. Integer, whole number, a number that is not a fraction. Thing complete in itself. Whole number, defined. Does it include 0? A number without fractions, an integer. Do whole numbers include negative numbers? Integers are 4, negative, so it's all those. So now we know what integers are. They're whole numbers. They're not fractions. They include negatives, positives, and 0. Cool. We're precise. We don't let things go by us if we look at it and we're like, I don't know what that is, integer. We stop and we look it up. That spirit of curiosity, of adventure, of exploration. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to know it. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be thorough. I'm going to fight well. I'm going to master this. How do we insert data? Let's do that in the next video.